Hi, we are going to make an angel food cake today. So we are first going to get your eggs out. You need to make sure that they are at room temperature for at least 30 minutes. And while you do that, you can get those out before you start, or you can get them out and then wait at least 30 minutes. And then you want to separate your egg yolks from the whites. So we're going to do that now, and you need 1 dozen eggs. So 12 eggs, and we will separate the egg yolks from the whites. Some people like to use a little utensil or a special tool to separate these. I've gotten a couple in the past, and I feel like they do not work. So this, to me, is the best tool, is using the shell to get that egg white separated from the yolk. So we will go ahead and do that and get 12 of them here. There is our dozen egg whites. And we just have a separate bowl for our egg yolks. So now we have a sifter. If you have a sifter, that is what we need to use. And I have got in here 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of cake flour. And this is the kind of cake flour that I get. This is what we happen to have at my store. It's the Pillsbury Soft Silk cake flour. It might be a different brand at your store, but this happens to work for us. So I've got 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of cake flour, and put that in our sifter and have a little catcher, put it on a plate or another bowl. We've got 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. And what we want to do is sift that 6 or 7 times. So we'll sift it into here, and then we will want to pour it back into the sifter 6 more times. So this is about our 7th time sifting this. So it's really nice and fine in our that's what my mom says is the secret ingredient to this recipe, is to make sure that it is sifted. Now, if you don't have a sifter, and a lot of people I know don't really use them, you can put this all in your food processor and process this with the blade for 2 to 3 minutes. So we've got our egg whites. I have a KitchenAid, and that's what I'm gonna mix my egg whites in. You need to add 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And part of the reason you need your egg whites at room temperature is we need to get them to be at a semi-stiff consistency. And if they're cold, it just takes a really long time, and the performance of this cake just isn't as good. So we will get that going and get it to a semi-stiff consistency. So here we go. You can also use just your hand beaters. That's great. Just have to, I don't know, this way I can do other stuff, but the hand beaters are great. So we are checking our soft peaks to see if they are semi-soft yet. I've been going in the KitchenAid for a couple of minutes, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty semi-soft peaks, or semi-stiff, I mean. It could go maybe a little bit longer, but right now we will go ahead and add gradually add 3/4 cup of sugar to it, and it'll even stiffen up just a little bit more. And after the sugar, then add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon almond extract. And we'll just kind of gradually add that in there. A 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And 1 teaspoon of almond extract. You could really play with your flavorings if you wanted to try something else. But this is very delicious. So we've got our egg whites with our sugar and our flavorings added, and it's nice. We've got some nice peaks there, so it looks all ready. And one thing I forgot to mention is you want to make sure that you do this in preferably in like a stainless steel bowl or a glass bowl. You want to make sure that there's our oven set to 375. I think I forgot to tell you that. But we want to make sure that everything that we use is grease and oil free. And we will just gradually fold in this flour mixture that you've sifted 6 or 7 times. And like I said before, if you don't have a sifter, go ahead and use your food processor. But after you taste this cake, you are going to want to invest in one of those little sifters, because you're going to be making these and find out how easy this is and how fun and yummy it is, and how you will never go back to the store-bought angel food cake again, because this is so fantastic and it's so yummy. So we've got our flour all folded in. We gently just folded in all the flour. So there we are, ready to put in our pans. I have got, actually, these are so fun. These are some of the favorite pans I found several years ago, but they are just little heart ones, so it'll take both the pans for this, or this is about the standard size of a regular tube pan. And it's ideal if you can find one that comes apart like that. These ones have the little feet, so when you take it out, we always turn it upside down to cool for the angel food cake. This one doesn't, but you could just find a narrow-necked bottle, glass bottle probably, so it wouldn't melt your mouth, and turn it up and just put it on a rack or whatever, because it sometimes comes up and you don't really want to rest it, but if not, then you just go for it. You want to make sure that you do not grease your pans. You just put it straight in there. So look it, there's our pretty cakes, ready to go into the oven. They bake for, well, it says to bake 45 minutes in a regular sized pan. But since these are a little bit smaller, and we've got 2 of them, I'm gonna check them at 35 minutes. So I'll just put them both in there. And see how it goes.